So September 11th was a real inflection point. I watched one tower collapse and I watched the second plane go through. And it was so extraordinarily devastating. I had friends and family in New York City. I was speaking to other expatriates from New Zealand, South Africa, America. Everybody was very distraught. And I spoke to some Saudis and noticed that they were not distraught. Some of the nurses asked me to come and talk to them late one evening. So we went into an empty room and they wanted to tell me what had happened on 9/11, which was that there had been some Saudi female physicians who had ordered cakes in celebration of the towers collapsing. I was surrounded by multiply board-certified physicians and highly educated people, and I could see that there was almost a satisfaction that this had happened. That made me wonder, what has come out from amongst us as Muslims? And that began my odyssey, which continues even today. But I must say, thankfully, Saudi Arabia is not the same country it was back then. After seeing 9/11, I came back to New York. Ground Zero was still on fire. You could smell it. And I made a decision to write a book called In the Land of Invisible Women about being a Muslim woman in Saudi Arabia. And I became sort of an amateur political scientist. And I realized very early on that the number one recipient of Islamist jihadist terror has been Israel. So I began reading about Israel's experience with Hamas. And finally, I thought, look, I've been reading and writing. I better go and visit. It's just an astonishing place. I went in and I saw patients. And on the door of every patient's room was a mezuzah. And inside was a Israeli Muslim nurse and an Israeli Jewish doctor, or vice versa. I remember one moment I was in an elevator and there was probably all of the great religions were in the one elevator. So I saw the most amazing diversity. And the amount of times I've been to Israel, I've pretty much seen all aspects you can over the years. And it's a place that I recommend everybody should go and visit.